Today, I'm going to be opening up my Hut Champs rewards on 2 different accounts and showing you the 2 teams I'm going to be using here in Hut Champs with all the different line combinations I've figured out over the last 7 days. Now, this week's Hut Champs card is Henry Richard of the Montreal Canadiens. Here's a quick look at the top 20 version, and a quick look here at the top 100 version. Now, being realistic, I'm not going to get top 100, I'm not going to get one of those cards, but I'm not even really interested in getting top 100 to get that card. I think if EA is going to keep offering cards for the top 100, they've got to make them worth getting. Now, speaking of worth getting, I could get a bunch of collectibles and trade them in for someone like Shane Doan, or Adam Foote, or maybe Scott Hannon. But I also don't think those cards are very good, so I'm going to be using my collectibles on the pack sets. 12 collectibles are going to go into the Hut Champs Mega Pack set, and then an additional 10 collectibles will go into the Hut Champs Prestige Pack. Let's see if it's going to be worth it. Now, to start, the Hut Champs Prestige Pack has 8 player items, including 2 76 plus and 1 guaranteed 83. However, the description of the pack is wrong. That's not what's in this pack. I mean, you are guaranteed that stuff, but you're actually guaranteed better than that. It's not going to be an 83 overall player, it's an 84. Or at least that's what I've been told. Instead of the 2 76s, it should be 2 guaranteed 77 plus, but the rest of the pack should also be 77 plus. Descriptions never make sense when it comes to packs. Let's open up our first pack of the day and see what we get. Hopefully something cool. We had an 81 Clint McClarechuk, alright, that's not how his name is said. We got Chris Terreri, what's going on? 78 Patrick Russell. We get an 81 Tucker Robertson. We get a 78 Matt Frazier. There's an 84 Chelweek Chris Osgood, my second favorite goalie of all time behind Dominik Hasek. We also get Zachary Leroux, and the final card is a 77 Liram Amidovsky. Alright, whatever. So we get Chris Osgood, our guaranteed 84. Every single card in the pack was 77 or higher, as it should be. We also got a lot of goalies in that pack. I don't know why they don't update the descriptions, right? Like, we got a guaranteed 84, we know it's an 84, but it says 83. Now, is Ozzy selling for anything? Well, there's 0 on the auction house. When it comes to the 84 and 85s that you need for the MSPs, you can get about 40k for them. So let's say I got 40k for Chris Osgood. I'll take that, hell yeah. What about Zachary? Well, his cheapest one up is around 12k, so that's not terrible, I guess. Same thing can be said about Clint Malarchuk. Tucker Robertson's about 7k. If I sell everything here, we're probably looking around 70, 75k, which is okay. But what about the Hut Champs Mega Pack? 8 player items, including 2 77 plus and 1 guaranteed 83. Once again, the description of the pack is incorrect. Let's open it up and see if this pack is any better than the last one. 8 player items incoming, just need one of them to be good. We start with Anna Meixner? I don't know. 94 speed and acceleration, hold on, holy crap. Interesting. Next up, we get 82 Zach Hyman. We're gonna get 81 Bill Ranford. We have 82 Dylan Holloway. 77, that's a name I'll never pronounce. We got 84 Clayton Keller. We get an 82 Zane Parekh. And your last card is 78 Colton Sissons. Now, will Zane Parekh, Clayton Keller, and I assume that Anna's going to have a lot of value. Well, let's see. Well, Clayton Keller has a couple cards up, but no one's over really 30k. We'll say 30k for Clayton Keller. That's not outstanding, but it is what it is. Zane Parekh, cheapest one up, looks to be around 9,000. And then we have Anna with 94 speed and acceleration. And there is one up for 10,000 coins. 94 speed and excel for 10k. That is ridiculous. Was this pack any better than the 10 collectible pack? Sure, I guess. Should I have taken the guaranteed BND player? No, I don't think so. Those players weren't going to make my team in the first place. At least this way, I'm getting coins. Now, speaking of my team, here's a quick look at my main squad. I've got Gartner with Larkin and McDavid, Jimmy Snuggerud with Sidney Crosby and Tristan Delisle. This is a +1 overall and then 5 AP. I got Brandon Hagel with Sergei Fedorov and Isaac Rosen. They all get a +1. And then on the 4th line, we have Beckett Seneca with Leo Carlson and Teemu Selanne. Not only do you get $6 million in salary for that, but you also get 3 AP. For the defense, I've got Brandon Montour with Paul Coffey for +2 AP. If I have Cromwell and Makar together, they get a +1 overall. And then I have Pionk Captain with the Matthew Schaefer card for $10 million in salary. Now, what you're going to notice about the goalies is that it's Kemper and Dostal, they get a $12 million salary boost. So I have $28 million in extra salary from 3 different pairs, which helps me make my team a whole lot better. However, if I needed extra salary, I could put Chris Pronger in where Matthew Schaefer is. And by doing that, you're going to see here it goes from $10 million all the way up to 17 million for salary. Luckily, at the moment, I don't need that, but I could get an additional 35 million just by doing a couple of pairs. This is not a lot of my team. Super sick. Now, if I want a huge AP boost, I could put 3 Detroit Red Wings together here on the third line, Kozlov, Fedorov, and Rasmussen, and I get 12 AP for doing that. And if you wanted to replace that Sergei Fedorov with, say, that Red Wings Brad Richards, you'd also get a +1 overall for having 3 Chill Week cards together. Now for some other combinations that I figured out and I've been playing with, we have to head over to my No Money Spent account. I've got McKinnon with McDavid and Kucherov together on the first line, and that second line is Nylander with Stamkos and Eklund. They get a +1 overall boost. We have Blake, Crosby, and Hughes together, get a +5 AP. Doughty and Orlov together, captain cards, get a +1 overall. I got Matt Kessel with Vince Dunn for 10 million in salary, and then Kevin Lankinen and Alex Nedeljkovic actually give $6 million in salary as well. But let's say I need some extra salary. Well, I can pair a Chicago Blackhawk, a New York Ranger, and a Detroit Red Wing together because of the Centennial Chill Week, and we'll get an additional $7 million in salary instead. If I need a quick AP boost, well, I could throw in someone like Alex Carpenter onto that fourth line, and instead of the salary boost, we'll actually get a big boost of 6 AP to that fourth line to help out the rest of the team. We can have a bit of fun here on defense as well if we pair Uyghur with Jake Bean. You get a +1 overall, 6 million in salary, and a +2 in AP. And you can actually do the same thing here if you pair Matt Kessel and Tyler Tucker from the St. Louis Blues. You'll get a +1 overall, $16 million in salary, and 2 AP. Now, if you guys have figured out any fun line combinations, please leave them down below so other people can try them out. I think for this week's Hut Champs, I'm going to go with something like this on my No Money Spent account. We have the extra +1 here for the Chill Week players. Now, really quickly, EA actually released some new Chill Week challenges today. Now, you're going to be using your own team, and you need to have Chill Week players in order to do these moments. The first one is make 15 passes with any Chill Week player, and you're going to get a guaranteed 81 overall player. Then after that, you need 2 assists with Chill Week items for a guaranteed 81. Moving on to Semi-Pro, you need to score 1 goal with a Chill Week player for a random 81. On the Pro difficulty, you need 10 body checks with any Chill Week player item for a random 81. But then, when you get to the final 2, you actually get some really good rewards here. On All-Star, you need to score 3 one-timer goals with Chill Week players for a random 84 Chill Week player. That could actually be better than an 84. It goes all the way up to the highest overall. And the same thing can be said here on Superstar. Score 4 goals with Chill Week players for another one of those packs. I appreciate you watching this video. Have a wonderful night. I'll be back here on Saturday with some gameplay for Hut Champs. I gotta hurry up and edit this video and get ready for work, unfortunately, but you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the channel with another video. Let me know down below what you think of the teams that I showed you here today. And once again, if you have any cool line combinations to try and help others out, please leave them down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.